Welcome! Got a heavy ceiling light and need a swag hook that can actually hold it? Stick around and I'll show you exactly how to install one and how to pick the right fastener so your fixture stays safe and secure. For mine, I even had to crawl up into the attic to build some extra support, and I'll walk you through every step of that process. But even if your fixture doesn't need the extra work, you'll pick up some smart tips like how to perfectly center your light over a table and mark your drill hole the right way. And while I'll be installing with the wood screw fastener, I'll also show you the toggle option so you got both methods covered. Let's go! I got lucky and picked up some used light fixtures for free from a business that was closing down, but the one I chose for my dining room wasn't exactly ready to go. It needed quite a bit of work. The chain and power cord were way too short, and the ground wire had even been cut off from the original install, so I completely disassembled the fixture and rebuilt it, fixing all those issues before I could finally hang it up. You can pick up all those parts in the lighting section at Home Depot or Lowe's. So for my install, I want the swag hook here over my dining room table, and I'll run the chain and power cord to the electrical ceiling box. Now if you perform an internet search, there are a lot of different styles and kinds of ceiling hooks or swag hooks. You have to choose the right one for your application and the look you're going for. I just picked up this 1.5 inch white decorative swag hook from Home Depot. It comes in a 2-pack with 2 toggle wings with the running thread studs and 2 wood screws. Now you have to decide which fastener is best for your project. If your light fixture or whatever you're hanging is not heavy, the toggle anchor is acceptable. I will demonstrate how it works in more detail next, but these wings open after you insert them up in a drilled hole and spread open to secure the hook. Check out this light fixture in my hallway. Now this light fixture is much lighter than the one I'm hanging in the dining room, so I chose a matching color swag hook and was able to use the toggle anchor directly into the ceiling drywall. For this option, you screw the threaded stud in the nut that is between the wings. Make sure you thread it past the top of the wing slightly or it might not open correctly. The other side goes into the swag hook, of course. Screw that in all the way. Pick a drill bit that can accept the toggle wings. I'm using a 1.5 inch drill bit. And then drill a hole in the ceiling. To make this easier, you can ream the hole out to enlarge it. Then you insert the toggle wings in the hole folded down. If they don't spring open and you see one of the wings still peeking through the hole, keep pulling it up and down until they open and catch the drywall. All that's left is to pull down as you screw it in clockwise. If you don't pull down, the toggle wings won't catch and it won't tighten down. You have to keep pulling down as you screw it in. I'm going to speed this up, but you'll know if you're installing it correctly if you see the hook base getting closer to the ceiling. And then as you see it touch the ceiling, don't crank it down damaging the drywall, just make it snug. But for my heavy light fixture install, we're going to use the wood screw option and add extra support. Okay, let's start by finding the middle of the table. The leaf is 18 inches and there's a convenient line right on the 9-inch measurement. Then I'm getting 42 inches wide, so half is 21 inches. So I stick a piece of painter's tape right on the 9-inch and 21-inch intersecting lines. That's the center of the table. Now there are many ways to mark the ceiling. Here are my 2 favorite ways. You can use a flashlight with a flat bottom, stand it up, shut the lights off, and use the light to mark your drill hole. Just guesstimate the center of the brightest circle, and that will be close enough. Now my favorite way is, I take my Bosch laser measure and use the laser to mark my drill hole. They do sell laser levels that have this function to find the perfect vertical plumb, but I just line my laser measure beam right over my table center point and use a Sharpie to mark the ceiling right where the laser hits it. Okay, next I'm going to use my flex rod that I usually use to pull wires in the wall, and I'm going to stick it in the ceiling. I make a hole with my straight pick, then stick a piece of painter's tape over the hole. Then I push my flex rod up into the hole. You can use any other rod. This one glows in the dark for easier locating in a dark attic. And then I feed it up into the attic and use a clothespin with another piece of painter's tape to hold it from slipping back down. The tape sticks to the other tape I put around the hole better than just taping it directly to the ceiling. This is the piece of scrap wood I'm going to use to screw the swag hook into. I have it prepped to screw in on an angle into the bottom cord of the truss. We have to cut one side to size. Now what I like to do is pack a backpack with my tools of whatever I can predict I might need. I want to limit the amount of time I'm in a hot attic in Florida. It keeps my hands free, and I definitely don't want to have to come back down for something else I need. Now comes the fun part, into the hot attic.
You sure about this?
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Now if you try this, you have to be very careful and keep your feet on the bottom cord of the truss or you'll go right through your ceiling. And I almost always place a piece of wood in the area I'll be working on. I've left several up here over the years. Okay, here's the flex rod sticking through the insulation, and I carried up a broom to help me sweep away the insulation to clear my work area. Can you kind of see it glowing in the dark green when my headlight is not shining on it? I next try my piece of 2x4 to get an idea how much I need to cut off. I set down my lantern I had packed in my backpack, and here's a shot so you can see how much I need to cut off. If you're getting value out of this video, please consider giving me a like and subscribing. So I need to move my flex rod out of the way, so I give my wife a call on my watch since my phone is being used to film, and she grabs it and pulls it down.
All right, thanks, bye.
Let me show you how I'll cut this piece of wood to size. I remove one of the screws. Now my drill can convert into a saw, so I remove the drill attachment and install the saw attachment. Now you could mark your board and go all the way back down to make your cut, but the more you walk through your attic, the more of a chance you fall through. That's why I packed everything I would need. I just lined up my cut by eyeing it. Now this is going to take several passes because the saw blade is not big enough to cut all the way through. This really is not that hard. I just keep flipping the board and you line up your last cut with the next. Now what's making this easier to work up here is although you can't see it, all my weight is on that flat piece of plywood. Now it was a pain to carry that piece of plywood through the attic and over here, but if I'm going to work this long in one place in the attic, it's worth the effort so I don't fall through the ceiling. Okay, the board fits, so I just need to convert my saw back to my drill and screw in the screws. The first one's easy because I already had it prepped. So with the board lined up over the hole in the ceiling, I screw it in. Okay, let's get the next one in. Now I was thinking to come in through the side instead of on an angle, but I just decided to stick with plan A. What I do is, I start the screw going in straight, and then once it starts to screw in, I angle it. Then I just continue on that angle and get it screwed in. All that's left is to pack up and put the insulation back. I give the board one last test wiggle and it's secure. So I start putting all my tools back into the backpack. Because all my tools are on my back and my hands are free, I can use them to brace myself and carry the broom. Now I just sweep the insulation, filling back in the area that I was working in. Let's go back downstairs and install the hook. I start by drilling a pilot hole at a smaller diameter than the wood screw on the swag hook and peel off the painter's tape. Now I just gotta screw it in. Hopefully by now you're seeing how this is gonna be much more secure than using a toggle anchor pulling on the drywall of the ceiling. If you live in a 2-story house, you just need to use a stud finder to find the nearest floor joist. You saw how mine was off by like 6 inches, but it would have looked fine. I use my channel lock pliers with electrical tape wrapped on the jaws so I don't scratch up the swag hook for the final turn. And one last test pull and it's secure. I next hang the heavy light and it looks like the swag hook is ready for anything and is holding. I just need to set the chain's length, wire it up, and install the LED bulbs with their glass shades. So that completes the project. It took some effort, but I believe the results were worth it. Let me know in the comments if you agree. I really did enjoy the challenge of sourcing the parts, rewiring the fixture, and ensuring this heavy light was installed safely and correctly. No way I was going to install it without a ground wire. I look at light fixtures as pieces of art. They're not just there to brighten a room, they become part of the decor. Over time, upgrading your lighting can completely transform the feel of your home, and as a bonus, it can even boost its value. Please remember to hit the thumbs up if you like this video, and be sure to subscribe to watch more home DIY videos just like this one. Put any questions in the comments, and maybe I can help you with your project. Click on the playlist on the screen to check out my other home DIY lighting videos. One, I show you how to wire up a light fixture. The other, I show you how I moved an AC supply vent to install a heavy light fixture you just saw during the final reveal shots. Thanks for watching and keep DIYing. Bye now.